Hey there, Seb Frey the Realtor here, and it's Halloween Day, so I have a very special treat for you. It's my tour, a Realtor's tour of the Winchester Mystery House. If you want to know what a Silicon Valley Realtor thinks about the Winchester Mystery House, then you would definitely want to watch this video. I used to work just practically right across the street from the Winchester Mystery House in my previous career, and I also go to Santana Row all the time and Westfield Valley Fair Shopping Center all the time, but I had never been to the Winchester Mystery House until just a month or two ago, and I took a grand tour of the place, and very fascinating, and I took a whole bunch of pictures. They don't let you take videos, so I took all my pictures and I made a video of it. And so take a look at the Winchester Mystery House here. It's very interesting. You know, Sarah Winchester, she was a widow of William Winchester, who inherited a substantial fortune from the Winchester Repeating Arms Company after her husband's death. The Winchester rifle was the rifle that won the West, and you know, a lot of her family ended up dying, including her husband and a bunch of other family members. And so she went to a medium who told her she would have to move to California and start building this house to like escape the bad juju of all the people who had died because of the Winchester repeating rifle. So she moved to San Jose, and she started building this house, the Winchester Mystery House, and she began construction in 1884, and she worked on it continuously until she died in 1922. And so there are approximately 161 rooms in the mansion, although the exact number supposedly is uncertain, because who knows where some rooms begin and some rooms end. It is a very large structure. It is about 24,000 square feet, pretty big house. And you know, the property itself, it was originally 162 acres, but it was reduced quite a bit down to just a few acres because they sold it off over the years. And also there were some eminent domain actions, I'm told. So today there's about 6 acres of land, and interestingly enough, it's on 2 separate parcels. So in total, Sarah Winchester spent about $5.5 million on the house. But yet, after she died in 1922, the house was valued at just $5,000. But then, strangely enough, it was sold at auction for $135,000. So that's one of the interesting things about making a custom home, is that, you know, you see a lot of value in the house, right? So you might spend who knows how much, but in the end, somebody else might not value all the crazy stuff you did to your house. And in this case, she spent $5.5 million on it, and at auction it went for $135,000. So it just shows you how doing some custom improvements may not have the value that you think it does. And today I looked on the Santa Clara County assessor records. The entire property, the 2 parcels, has an assessed value of $3.2 million, which is lower than you know, market value, thanks to Prop 13. So, you know, the property has a very unique architectural style. It actually has several styles, including Victorian, Queen Anne, and of course a lot of custom elements that really have no style at all. You know, there's a lot of numerology involved in the property. Apparently the number 13 was very prominent in the house, with a lot of staircases having 13 steps and a lot of windows having 13 panes. Now, despite the fact that it was built a long time ago, it had these very quirky design elements. It did have some modern amenities for its time, including heating, an elevator, and sewage systems. And you know, it's very famous for having these staircases that lead to nowhere, and doors that open up into walls, and windows overlooking other rooms. And actually, I was kind of disappointed when I went there, because there wasn't really a lot of that. There was some of that, but I thought it was going to be like all over the place, and it wasn't really. I think the most peculiar thing about the property, other than its, you know, weird, you know, size and configuration, is the fact that Sarah Winchester was not very tall, and so a lot of the steps were very, very short steps, and it was very awkward for people with a normal gait like myself to go up and down the stairs. It wasn't really a normal kind of staircase that you would be accustomed to. And that's why I think that, you know, like a lot of people wouldn't really find the improvements to be very suitable, because it was built specifically for Sarah Winchester and her needs. So, Sarah was said to be constantly working on the house for 38 years, and she never really hired an architect. I think on the tour they say that she did hire one architect to work on a couple of the main salons, but that most of it was just done sort of by the seat of her pants. So some of the rooms were left off apparently sealed and unfinished, and other rooms, as you will see here on the tour, are in fact quite luxurious and very, very ornately done. And there are hidden passages and trapdoors and secret chambers, although those weren't on the tour, so we didn't see all 161 rooms, so some of it we didn't actually get to see. But it did have some neat features, like a seance room, where she did have seances to commune with the dead. Let's see here. What else can I tell you about it? The property is open for tours, and you can go take a tour, and it actually isn't cheap. It's like, I think like $40 for adults and maybe $20 or $30 for kids. And there are some very historic outbuildings you can go and take a look at. Certainly a really neat, fun day out, and if you do have what's probably going to amount to a couple $100 kicking around in your pocket, you want to have a interesting and historic family outing, then the Winchester Mystery House is probably a good way to go, a good afternoon activity in San Jose. So, the Winchester Mystery House, it is on the National Register of Historic Places, and actually you do need to have a reservation because they limit the tour groups to a certain number of people. So before you go, you want to book online and make sure that you do, in fact, get tickets ahead of time, because you can't really just drop in and expect to get a tour most of the time. So here we're looking at some of the outbuildings. They had like a packing sheds and fruit drying sheds, and apparently she sold produce all up and down the West Coast, and I think to the East Coast as well. So we really enjoyed our trip to the Winchester Mystery House, and I really do encourage you to go and take a look. It really is a pretty fun property, and but it does just show you that these custom improvements, while you may find them to be really wonderful, they're not always going to work for a lot of people. And so that's why I tell people, hey, when you are working on your house, always have an eye for resale. Try and do the things which aren't just appealing to you, but which will be appealing to many other people, if you want to get a really good return on your investment. And sad to say, Sarah did not actually get a very good return on her investment. Actually, when she died, she only had, I guess, a few $1,000,000 left, despite having been at one point, I guess, the richest woman in America, and probably therefore one of the richest women in the world. All right, that's all I have for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this tour of the Winchester Mystery House. And if you did enjoy, I'm guessing that you might also enjoy some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel, so please do take a look. Thank you so very much for watching, and please stay tuned.